It's also like when Eric July can't take criticism, so he
from anyone. From guys on Twitter with no 100 followers.
So he decides to make an example of one of them, someone who he sees as beneath him.
I have guys who have been I support Eric and I want him to do well and whatever else, and they're like, I can't believe he's doing this. Even this was like a bridge too far for them.
Such a cocksucker.
It's just so weird. He found a guy.
He found a guy who was criticizing him for not supporting or not promoting smaller creators.
Yeah.
So he said, "Well, I noticed you had like a pathetic little Kickstarter."
This is Eric talking to the guy.
This is Eric talking to the guy. He said, "You have I saw you had a Kickstarter, and I'm such a big success. I'm just gonna go ahead. You don't have any supporters. I'm gonna go ahead and fund the rest of your Kickstarter.
I'm gonna fund your comic. The funding goal was 1,000. The man was at 300. Eric kicked in $700.
Mr. Fucking Moneybags,
Mr.
right?
Moneybags.
So he says, "Hey man, I clicked on your page and noticed that you had an active campaign. You only had 10 backers in 6 months. So what I did was essentially fund your campaign. Of course, giving a big tip to FMC.
That's Fund My Comic. Yeah, that's the platform where it was.
He's such a fucking asshole, man.
Well, I mean,
he's such a fucking asshole.
That's the thing about this statement. He goes, I noticed you only had 10 backers in 6 months. Eric, everyone understands that you're a big libertarian influencer with 500,000 followers. You don't have to find little comic guys and go, I noticed you only had 10 backers in 6 months. Meanwhile, my new comic, Alpha Core, we all know, Eric. We know you're a big shot. Incredible success.
Yeah. I know.
Congratulations.
You've got a whole office building working on your fucking comic. So what I did was essentially fund your campaign. Again, what I did was fund your campaign, not essentially.
Essentially what I did vis-a-vis what it is that, in a way, you might say circumvent the ways of the West and found my way surreptitiously into making a donation of a limited amount that would then propel you into the funding area.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Of course, giving a big tip to fund my comic.
Yeah.
Here's what I'd like you to do. Work on your attitude, because it is in a terrible spot. Being small does not make you admirable, nor does it justify your attitude towards creators that have worked extremely hard to get where they're at. Here's a bunch of money. Here's what I want you to do. It's like fucking Sonny Corleone breaking that guy's camera and just peeling off money.
It's like going up to a homeless guy, putting $1 in his cup and
I want you to do a little dance.
Here's what I want. Well, I want to give you a lecture on how to get your life together, you piece of shit.
I'm going to give you this 20, but I want you to promise me you're going to get a job. Like, oh, yeah, yes,
I looked in your cup. I noticed there's only dimes in there. I put a 10 in there. So let me tell you how to live your life.
He's one of the most unlikable guys, I think, online. Eric July.
Well, I was discussing with people. I said, can you imagine if he just went, hey, today for Christmas, I want to help the indie comic community. I'm taking $2,500 that I have raised from AlphaCore, and I am giving it out. I'm giving $100 out to a creator every day for the month of December.
Yeah. Amazing.
We would have nothing. That's nothing I could say. I say, wow, what a good guy. He gave money to help people get their comics made.
Can you imagine?
Instead, he gives one guy $700 so he can give him a lecture on Twitter. It's a little stunt.
Does not make you admirable, nor does it justify your attitude towards creators that have worked extremely hard to get where they're at. Dismissing or attempting to devalue their efforts is such a tone. He's talking about himself. Dismissing my efforts, right? He's not talking about them. He's responding to criticism of himself. Dismissing or attempting to devalue their efforts is such a tone-deaf thing to do and will only turn people off to your project. You could have made a different product. Was a moronic way to approach this.
He was making the point to Eric July, well, yeah, you raised this money, but if you made Eric July, sneakers or
basketballs.
Any sort of product associated with any sort of individual. Yes, I know there's a million things you can name, Jack, okay? We don't need to say them. We all know what they are.
Where's my Family Feud music?
You could have made Eric July top.
where is it?
Blunt wraps. Let me see blunt wraps.
Damn it! I always need that fucking song and I don't have it.
Well,
I gotta write it down to have it.
Show me blunt wraps. Ding.
Lastly,
13% of all people. All right, go ahead.
Lastly, well, you didn't say you only had one thing. You can't put lastly. Lastly, there's no the community as it pertains to the independent comics. The clique you're around are not the only people that exist, and it is arrogance to operate as if it does. What?
He's saying that the indie comic community doesn't matter, which is a thing he keeps. He basically is saying, like, I know you guys have built a community, but I think it's bullshit, and I don't care to participate in it.
Okay,
and that's
go
fine.
Fuck off. Go
okay.
sell food buckets with Tim Pool and all his old horrors.
But everybody else in it who's making comics and like sharing information and like helping each other out, we all kind of like it.
Telling stories that don't have to do with money.
Yeah.
To tell someone they don't participate or they don't help the marketplace, despite them employing more people in comics than you ever have, is incredibly stupid. You are in no position to be as dismissive and disrespectful as you are. Your project is funded, and I do not want your items. I just want you to get to work, go be great, and go work on your attitude. Good luck.
Yeah, so,
well, that would have been...
that was not a nice little...
What a great
What a
mic
Christmas
drop,
present.
right?
This is how this guy acts around the holidays. You got to fight with people on Twitter and then go, I noticed you're a fucking failure, unlike me. What he didn't realize, and this is an important addendum to this, is this guy's comic did get funded on a different platform.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, so he had 100 backers. He raised like $6,000, which is pretty
What's the
good.
name of his comic?
It's Immortals
Rising.
Immortal Rising. Guys, check out Immortal Rising. Available on fundmycomic.com.
A lot of people
this guy
just taken
did
that.
give the money back.
Well, yeah,
you
that's
getting
what
that?
I'm getting
okay,
to.
okay.
A lot of people would have taken that money and slinked off.
I would have taken that money.
People are even saying he's stupid for not taking the money,
Well.
which to me is, there's nothing worse.
You just berated me for not taking $200 to humiliate myself
because
on a
that's
radio show.
funny.
Yeah, okay. They're much different situations.
Yeah. He said his response to $700 and all that bullshit, all that jibber jabber was keep your money and your insults.
Keep this
I don't
money.
need either. That's a storefront for me.
Yeah.
And you can feel the contempt dripping off every sentence. Short, the punctuation perfect, spelling immaculate. Here's what I'd like you to do. You can address anything I said. We can do it in DMs unless you need the drama fodder for your brand.
Yeah, he fired back. I'm not going to lie. Mortal Rising, a class act. The man making this comic book. Gave back the $700. I would have just bought a whole bunch of Miles Morales merchandise and been like, look what I got, you dumb piece of shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
To just shove $700 back in Eric July's dick
It's a big
hole.
league. That's a big league move from him. He's in the bigger league.
Yeah, he's in the bigger league.
I don't need your money,
Actual artist.
Yeah.
A businessman
I'm
would
not an
never
actual
understand.
artist. I would have bought another PlayStation.
No, you're not. A businessman trying to big league an artist.
I saw that and I was
Here's
pissed.
$700. Why don't you, here's my advice on, actually, I don't give a shit. Here you go.
I've been
Why don't you go
disrespecting
fuck
Eric
yourself?
for more than a year, and he's never given me any amount of money.
You don't deserve it.
This is bullshit.
You would take it.
I know I would take it.
I haven't seen something so beautiful as this in a long time.
Again, it's just like, what does he want? What is his brand?
So then Eric had a fire sale to get more attention and dopamine. He said, okay, the gentleman rejected it, but if 3 of you would like my money, please
He's going to split
tell me that
$700 between 3 people now?
Who knows? Who cares? But this guy, he couldn't buy.
So the problem is that Eric July's brand can't be, again, all these people who, are saying, oh, he's just like, he's the new Stan Lee, it's the future comics, whatever else. I'm like, if Stan Lee was like an asshole behind.
If Stan Lee paid you $700 to take his advice, you'd take it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't tell him to go fuck himself.
Also,
take your money and go
Stan
fuck
Lee was a
yourself.
big asshole behind the scenes. He wasn't going out there and going, listen, all you chum-sucking motherfuckers. All right, I know everything about comics, and any asshole making comics that not the Marvel way is a dumbass and a lunatic. How dare you disrespect Iron Man?
I got some advice for you. Don't
Yeah.
use parentheses anymore because you have no fucking idea where they're supposed to be used. You illiterate piece of shit.
I think once you make like the big money, like that's your opportunity to become Grandpa Eric. That's your opportunity to become the big fun comic uncle. And you come out and you go, well, maybe not uncle. I know that has certain connotations in the African American community. Let's go back to Grandpa, okay? Yeah. And you come out and you go, listen, I just love comics. I'm so excited to be making comics. I want everybody to make comics. But for some reason, Eric has like this weird thing where you go, like, and I think
not having a dad. That's the weird thing.
Well, that's part of it, but we're not going to dig too deep into that. I guess, I don't know if he's doing it consciously or not, but clearly his brand is, I'm a big, tough man from the streets.
Tons of money.
I handle things the way we handle things on the streets. I don't take no disrespect.
You just got disrespected harder than anyone
I've
You
set yourself up for a lot of disrespect there. And I see a lot of people are coming at him now being like, what the fuck was that? You gave a guy $700 to tell him that he sucks at raising money and that he needs to work on his attitude. Look, I know that he's going to argue like, well, his attitude's the reason he's not making money. I don't know, man. His attitude seems fine. He basically told you.
Go buy Immortal Rising's comic.
Yeah, everyone go buy Immortal Rising.
From Super Killer. Vito is happy to give you a refund so you can go support.
You can get a refund on Super Killer. There's no problem, okay? If you want to wait for it to come out and then buy it, that's fine. All right.
Don't get it. Fuck you. Don't get a fucking refund. You're not getting any fucking refunds
Doesn't
from
matter.
Vito. I'm just joking.
Of course.
But go support Immortal Rising. If you're not going to do it, make somebody else
I think
do
he's
it.
already raised a couple $100. And again, he's going, look, I don't want your fucking big league charity. I don't need Daddy Warbucks to show up and rescue me from the orphanage, okay? I'm a guy making a comic book. If people want to check out my comic book, and it looks pretty good. I looked at it. I like the coloring.
Big leaguing.
Immortal Rising.
It's fucking obnoxious.
It is obnoxious. I think it's on fundmycomic.com. You can find it. So maybe we can help this guy raise the $700 that Daddy Eric tried to give him.
It's beautiful. No, you know what? No. One button.
One button.
He sat there going, I could have $700. All these people are saying that they would do it and I'm dumb. They're all going to say I'm stupid. All of Eric's fans saying I'm stupid. Even people who are neutrals, like, I would have taken it. That's dumb. Like, nope, I'm an artist, man. Fuck you.
What about a giant cardboard cutout of Eric and put it in my office and throw darts at it?
I wanted to write the guy $700 check just right there. Like, thank you. Here you go.
I thought about kicking in some money.
I'll
I'll buy a copy of the comic.
I'll buy the comic.
We're going to buy the comic.
I'll buy the comic. It's the least I could do. It's nearly the least I could do.
Again, though, it's like...
Thank you.
He's not... Why argue with a guy? He's got a little comic. He's got like 100 backers. He's perfectly happy making his comics. Why would you go, well, I've sold this many comics, and here's the reason you're a busted-ass piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. It's like...
Why would you try to humiliate
Christmas.
him?
Get over it. If somebody on Twitter doesn't like you,
I
don't go to I'll fight with guys on Twitter, but I don't give them $700 to try to teach them lessons. I just go, fuck you, and I go about my day.
It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he had needed that money.
Even these guys with...
you have to live with like that shame of being humiliated by somebody who probably can't read. Like, that's fucking horrible, man, who has no dad.
Even the Rippaverse guys I fight with on Twitter, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I like these guys. I'm going to win them over.
That Renowned Zero guy?
That's the difference with Eric, is that he thinks all his haters, he's just like, I hate all these guys. I'm like, all these haters, they're going to see.
He just sees his dad, like that polka dot guy in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or maybe his mom, like that guy, like exactly like that guy.
There's a lot of problems in the world.
Okay, your turn.
Uncle Eric saving the comic industry with his...
Don't call it that.
If you have a comic book, he's like giving money away, so you got to go reply to his tweet.
I couldn't believe it.
It's bizarre. Again, I said even guys.
I noticed that your little campaign wasn't doing so well, and I'm basically the Suge Knight of comics. I mean, I don't.
Eric's playing this badly. Okay, here's the other problem: is he had this big falling out with Ethan and Van Sciver, right?
Yeah.
So he's basically going, fuck the idea of a comic community and everybody working together to make comics better. I'm my own man. I built my own
collective
thing.
has ever thrived under those conditions.
Yeah.
When oppressed artists got together and
Never.
worked on their craft in a conclave of some kind.
All artists survive and thrive in pure isolation with no help or promotion from anyone else.
Only in marketing.
Right. Jack Rockstar for 5. Eric saying essentially funded is trying to make him feel small and belittle the other people who donated.
Yeah, he's such a fucking asshole.
Also, $1,000 doesn't make a comic, so that's why the guy already raised $5,000. Whatever. It's all stupid.
He's just such a piece of shit, man.
He's a bad person.
You give him a little bit, and he's like big leaguing and trying to fucking embarrass somebody for criticizing him.
I feel like we've given him every opportunity to just prove us wrong and be like, no, I am a nice guy. You guys are assholes. And instead, he just constantly doubles down.
Is an asshole.
And is a total shitbag asshole to everyone, except for the people giving him money because he's manipulating them and tricking them into giving him money. He doesn't.
I like that part. That's my favorite part because they're dumb. They're total pieces of shit who shouldn't have any money.
If you love that audience, why do you constantly gaslight them with all this? We're all the most badass motherfuckers as it pertains to be. Do we still have these sunglasses on? We do. Can we get these?
Well, the ministry came in and they sued me, and well, you know what it is we're both agreed to be in our lanes. Yes. They in their lane of owning the trademark for what it is, and me agreeing to say
vis-a-vis
that what it would be is we make the comic with almost no changes. So when we reprint
no changes almost
ISOM 1, ISOM 2, we're gonna reprint them because
minor editorial
errors. A universe, and I've worked hard. And what I say to the haters,
it's standard to use 3D technology.
What I say to the haters is, you're late. You're late with your books.
I don't know how to spell Goodyear, and neither do you.
Parentheses.
Welcome
to the Rippaverse. Be great. And parentheses.
And give me your motherfucking money.
What it is these people don't want to work.
$35 for a comic book. The customer's number one.
The customer's number one in the Rippaverse.
Real thugs don't spell check. All right.
Get rid of the shades.
Okay, I'll get rid of the shades here. We love the shades.
Good. I'm sick of them.
The best part about Eric's insane tweet is that the Immortal Rising guy, what the Riptards fail to realize is what Eric is doing is very stereotypical asshole behavior. Yeah, it's psychopathic. Just go, hey, thanks for your comment. I'm $1 million comic creator, and I'm going to keep making things and doing whatever.
You say something nice when you give somebody, if you're trying to big league somebody, you know what, I hear your criticism. I'm going to fund your comics so you know what it's like for this. It's not a fucking paragraph.
You could just say, listen, there's a lot of troubles I face as a comic creator, and while we don't always get it right, I hope you'll trust I'm trying my best. I do care about the world of independent comic creation, and I notice you have a comic crowdfunder going on right now. In the spirit of the holidays, I want to kick in $700. I hope you'll see that I do truly care about.
In the spirit of Kwanzaa.
In the spirit of Kwanzaa, which I celebrate and every black man does celebrate. I want to see the comic community succeed. I hope you will consider this token sum a representative of my efforts in that regard.
You're a nice guy.
Yeah, shit, that's a pretty nice thing to do. Instead, it's, I noticed you can't even get your crowdfunder going because I don't know if you looked at mine, but I made like $1 million, you dumb piece of shit. So why don't you like work on your fucking attitude and...
First of all, this is what I want you to work. I want you to take this $700, which is not enough. Which is not enough money for someone to eat Eric July's cock.
No,
right?
No,
like
$700 is not enough to be publicly have a black man try to publicly humiliate you.
I'm gonna fund your campaign. Here's $700. Now you gonna listen to my timeshare lecture? Or what? No, I'm not, man. Go fuck yourself.
Wait, but you get free slot comps at the end of the lecture. I'll just go to a different casino.
Why don't you go fuck your wife, you fucking fat piece of shit?